Big shout out to Mile High Minute, man. Shout out to my brother Kodak Blow Up. Y'all know the vibe.
Mile High Minute, #1 blog in the universe.
Okay.
We here down here in Tampa, man. Gotta tap in with K Ruth. What's the word?
What's up, man? Look, when you come to my city, you gotta check in, man.
You know?
That's just what it is.
And that's what we doing.
Yes.
I appreciate you for letting me interview you.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you for reaching out. You know, appreciate that.
Gotta swap some fans, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully get some good Colorado West fans.
The world need to know, man. The world need to know. Bring that exposure. Let these people know what's going on, man. Definitely.
Hell yeah. Okay. So originally from Tampa, born and raised, or?
Born and raised, Tampa, Florida. You know, born and raised. I went to college in Tallahassee. I've traveled, you know, lived in different cities, but Tampa, born and raised. It's my heart.
Is it Florida State in Tallahassee, or am I tripping?
Yeah. Tally is still in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like 3 hours away.
Is that where you went, to Florida State?
Yeah, that's where I went.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
How'd you end up at Florida State?
I had a scholarship in middle school. You know, I was always smart, so I had a scholarship. It was academics though,
okay.
So it wasn't financial. So like I had to, you know, stay with myself, like not on campus. I had an apartment, things like that. But I was in class. I had a scholarship for academics from this military guy named Eric Hertzberg, and I wrote an essay and I won. So with that being said, I thought I wanted to be a forensic pathologist. You know what that is?
I've heard of forensics, but is that like some psychology?
No, the pathologist person is the person that goes and does the autopsy on the body.
Oh, okay.
So you know how it's a crime scene and somebody, like, after they die, you got to review the body. I thought that's what I wanted to do, but yeah, that's what I went to FSU for.
Oh, okay.
Criminal, yes sir.
And did you, like, what made you, I guess, not take that path?
Life, you know, I wanted to stay in school, but life just kept happening, so I felt like it was easier to come back home and try, you know. So and then I came back home and I just started pushing my music. You know, I was like, school not working out, let me bet on me, you know, let me put my all into self. And I did nursing for a while. I transferred home and I did nursing, and I worked at a nursing home for like a couple years, you know. Like, I love taking care of people. I had my own clients, people with disabilities, everything. But even that, I was like, you know, I love helping people, but it kind of took away from my creativity. So I was just like, you know what, it's all in, you know, with the music. Like,
that's real.
Okay.
Now, what part of Tampa are you from?
Well, they call it Jackson Heights area. That's my hood, Jackson Heights. But man, it's hard to say. I'm from all over. Like, I be all over. A
lot of places.
I be all over, man. It's nowhere I can't go. I've sold CDs at almost every establishment, corner stores, restaurants, gas stations, like, you know.
The Queen of Tampa.
The Queen of the City, man. That's what they call me, and that's what it is.
Oh yeah. No,
yes, definitely.
I want a quick shout out Kodak Blow Up. He put me on to you. I watched your guys' interview. Yeah. Y'all did a couple, right? A couple interviews.
Yeah, we actually did. But my favorite part me and Kodak did. Shout out to that boy Kodak Blow Up. You know what I'm talking about? If you know the name, then you know what it is. When he stamp you, that's what it is, man. My favorite thing we did was the neighborhood walk. Cause like I was able to, you know, bring people in my community and in my world and show them what it's like for a young black girl getting out the mud, that ain't selling pussy, that ain't selling for less, that ain't just doing no anything, like really out here hustling like a male. So definitely, but still feminine. But you know the vibes, like no handouts, just trying to get it the right way. So I was glad he brought that exposure to my world, you know.
No, that's dope. Okay.
Heck yeah.
What kind of music were you listening to, like, growing up and stuff like that?
Growing up, I was listening to a lot of gospel music because I got a strong foundation in the church. Shout out to my godparents. A lot of gospel music. And then my mom, she old school. So when she cook and clean, a lot of old school music, like, you know, R. Kelly, Sunshine Anderson, like just the old school vibe. So I just kind of, and my dad has a music shop where he installs like people music, surround, you know, the amps, the speakers. So either way you go, I couldn't get away from it. Like music was all around me for sure, but definitely in me too.
Oh, that's dope.
Heck yeah.
What was your relationship like with your parents?
My relationship with my parents is good. Like my dad, I used to sell I used to sell chili dogs at my dad's shop every summer in middle school through high school. Like he the first person to teach me about profit, re-up, flipping money, you know, investing and having to wait for your money to come in, like different things like that. So when it comes to the business mindset that I have, I know that I get that from my dad, you know, his structure and what he stand on. And then my mom, you know, strong lady, resilient. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, I've seen her overcome so much. So I have a great relationship with my parents, you know, and I know they both rooting for me. So I'm trying to get them, you know, real fast.
Okay.
Definitely.
So what was that moment where you were like, all right, I'm gonna actually like take this music serious and dive into it?
When college ain't work out. When college ain't work out, I was a little bit devastated because I always knew I was smart. And I always knew I was supposed to be like not one of the statistics. Like I know my family was counting on me to do something, whether it was the military or, you know, something. So I felt like a letdown. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, man, the odds was never set for you to go to college. Like you ain't come from, you didn't have an advantage. You didn't have you know, different things. I didn't have resources. I really didn't. When I was in college, I had to call home and ask, could you guys send me some gas? Could you guys, you know, it was just different. Some people, some family, they have savings. They have, so, you know, I used my brains, but I really had to get it out the streets, you know what I'm saying? So I just think when that didn't work out, I was like, okay, life's not over. Like I know that I love this music. So if I do what I love and I try fighting, you know, then I feel like it should win for me. Plus, if we're going to be honest, like growing up in the church, I will always speak and I always had a message. So I always knew that I wanted to talk to people like with the beat or without a beat. You know, that's kind of where my Daily Bread podcast come from. So the music is more so, I feel like the message. And I feel like I just want God to be able to use me, and I chose the music to be that platform.
No, that's dope. What religion are you?
I'm Christianity.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel like church or God, religion has like had an impact on your life? Major impact,
because I'm not a saint. I'm not holier than thou. I've seen, you know, look at me, I'm tatted up. We're not even supposed to pierce our bodies. But the whole thing is that I know God loves me. I know the right way. I read my word. I have a personal relationship with him. So, like, I just feel like, you know, that he's my root. You feel me? Like, when I'm going through things in life, if I didn't have godparents, I probably would be a whole nother woman. If I didn't know that I could actually fall on my knees and pray, or, you know, I feel like me knowing God, even though he's somebody I've never seen, it do teach you a little bit about faith, you know. So for the things you can't see, and just a lot, you know, even with my character of wanting to help people. You feel me? Like, that's where Lyrical Cafe comes from. A whole platform where I'm putting other artists on because I want God to be able to use me to bring people together, but also share the light, you know. So even if it's somewhat of a sacrifice, I do it. I do it in vain in his name, because I just feel like that's what he installed in me, you know.
That's real.
Hey, thank you.
You seem like you have a lot of different like businesses or like paths and things you're interested in. Like you bring up the Lyrical Cafe. How did that come about? And then I see like activists, right, in your bio. So what are, I guess, all the things that, you know, make you you, and how did you get into these
Well, I do a lot. I got a lot of businesses. The law firm, you know, like, I guess that comes from like me finding a way to get my name out there. You know, even with my first team I was working with, like we was in the streets doing posters, flyers. That's advertisement on a smaller level, but it works, word of mouth. But even like me selling my CDs, knowing how to sell myself and tell the person, hey, you know, check this out, whatever seed or donation you could give me, it's appreciated. But that takes a lot of courage, you know, to sell yourself. So I'm like, I just feel like that street marketing spilled over to corporate marketing. So now I could sell somebody information that's valuable to them and help them get paid, I'm down with that. So that's why I help people with accidents. Even at the print shop, like I have a print shop, Minuteman Press, where I help people with advertising if they got a small business, whatever they need, memes, business cards, bulletins, like we do it all, you know. And the Lyrical Cafe, now that came from, shout out to YTC, Young Dread. He's another artist in the city. And he had a restaurant and they wanted to bring more traffic. And they asked, you know, reached out to me about if I wanted to start some type of night. And I'm like, I'm not no promoter. Like, I promote myself in the streets, but I'm not no promoter. But I sat down, God bless the day, with my business partner, my brother, Shamani. And I was like, man, we could do this. Like, we could build a platform that brings light, you know, to the city. And that's what we came up with, Lyrical Cafe. You know what I'm saying? Where you could come, perform, freestyle, network. And let me tell you, it's been artists from all over, A&Rs, different people. Like, to be an artist and to see that is really a blessing. But I think the morals behind it is, like I said, just being able to help people, you know. I might not see further down the line where I'm going, but at least I know along the way I could plant seeds. And stop a person from making mistakes. Because I'm 5-6 years in, like, other people look like instant gratification, like it happens overnight, but to be honest, it don't work like that. You gotta go through things to be able to grow. So I think with the cafe, I've been through some things. I'm a little seasoned, so I think whatever advice or light or energy I can give another artist, I'm on that. I'm totally down.
No, that's real.
Heck yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your new single, Have Emotion. How's that?
Have Emotion. It's dropping. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay tuned. The video and all that good stuff. You know, it's going to be crazy. But Have Emotion comes from feeling like, you know what I'm saying, things got stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was recently in a car accident and, you know, it left me injured. Like, I couldn't walk for a whole month. I had to do physical training. I had to hire a therapist. Like, it was crazy, you know? So just going through that and knowing that I have to be resilient. Like, my money never stopped. Business kept going. And for that, it just showed me what really Have Emotion is about. Like, if you could fall all the way down and still rise back up to the top and not lose everything, that's real true emotion, I feel like. So I'm just showing people, like, I'm really have emotion, like real support. I haven't fallen off yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still doing it, still fighting, no matter what come my way. You know, that's the real Have Emotion.
Oh, that's respect. How did you get through that? You know what I'm saying? Because you bring up the car accident and your business partner, rest in peace.
I'm currently getting through it. Like, as we speak right now, I'm currently getting through it. For me, like, people call me K-Ruth the Truth. They call me the queen of the city, but they call me K-Ruth the Truth too, because I just go so hard, like, you know. And I think that resilience is something I display. But these last couple things that happened to me recently, it really, like, was breaking me, like, my soul, my spirit. You know, I had to, like, really find that self-love again, like, really go back and talk to God and figure out what's going on, you know. And when I sat back and looked at it, everything happens for a reason, you know. But when I sat back and looked at it, I'm like, wow, I've dealt with a lot of things in my life. College, not working out, this, that, seeing stuff in the music industry, but I've never dealt with so much back to back. And I think that's what scared me, because you know how they say everything happens in threes. I've been in 3 accidents this year. And then with the death of my friend, it was just like, man, like, I don't know. I was trying to figure out what's going on. So in order for me to figure that out, I just kept working, kept going hard, you know. Like, it's only been a month since he's passed. It's only been 2 months and a half since my injury. So every time I think, okay, I'm good, something else happened. So at this point, I think it showed me also that problems gonna keep happening. Something might come up next week, but I can't lay down. I can't give up. I can't stop working, because that's just life, you know.
You gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Like Nipsey would say,
Tico gonna keep, the bills gonna keep coming in, you know. And I think that's another thing that hurt me too, because I wanted, once my business partner died, my manager, my brother, like, I wanted the whole world to stop. I wanted the whole world to stop and everybody grieved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted the world to stop. Like, and it's like I can't sit in my grief because I have to keep going, because I have to do what he might want me to do, continue to run the business, get things, you know, push myself, my team. So it's just like, you know, it's do or die, especially right now. And that's what having motion is all about. Like, right now it's do or die, seriously.
That's real.
Yeah.
Now, you brought up your name. How did you get the name K. Ruth the Truth?
K. Ruth, because, well, my name is Shakira, and Ruth, she is a strong woman in the Bible. It's the shortest chapter in the Bible because, you know, she had her stepkids, Naomi them, and was raising them, and for whatever happened, you know, she planted seeds, and it took a while, but in the end, she harvested. And I felt like I was able to connect to that story. Like, dang, like, I've really been out here planting seeds on the grind, in the field, hand-to-hand interaction, and I'm knowing that it's gonna pay off eventually. So that's why I connected it to the Ruth. And the truth, that's just the alias that the fans and the streets gave me. Like, she is the truth, boy, because I am that, definitely.
Hell yeah. What kind of, like, advice would you give, like, other upcoming artists who, you know, maybe trying to pursue a music career but may feel like nervous, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what all comes with it? How do you do it?
I would first thing tell them that you got to go through some things to grow. Second, I would tell them that, you know what I'm saying, you only need like management and a team when you get to the page where you can't do things for yourself. But, you know, you got to put yourself out there. You got to be able to promote you, you know, because if a person see you go hard for you, that's gonna make them want to join in and go hard. And people ask me all the time, how did you build a team? You got this person, you got that. Man, I remember walking in the room and nobody knew my name or who I was. Like, it really took that, you know, me just doing me, and people like, okay, I see what's going on here. And another thing I want to say is that you gonna go through some bad apples till you get to the right bunch. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta pray, see who for you, read their energy. You know, just really try to know their intentions, because it's even worse for females. But yeah, man, this is like the dope game on crack.
For real.
The rap game is like the dope game, but on crack. For
especially
real,
the rap industry.
For real, on fentanyl. This is cutthroat, slime ball. You know what I'm saying? So you got to don't wear your heart on your sleeve. You know, and last but not least, man, it's wolves in sheep clothing. So like, just try to stay clear. Like, you could be on the scene but off the scene, if that makes sense. You know, and that's just how I try to move. Like,
no, that's real.
Yeah.
When do you feel like was that moment when people started taking you serious out here?
I think people started taking me serious once I dropped my single Self Love.
Okay.
Self Love, cause like I talk about how I've been doing it for like 6 years, 7 years, but to be honest, I dropped Self Love about 3-4 years ago, and that really, the city was like, okay, we hear you, like she doing her thing. So that was my single that did it for me, and then I just been, you know, killing them ever since. Shake It Off, check in, like, just, you know, stand back to back. But I'm about to pick up the rate on that. Heck yeah.
The check-in definitely caught my attention.
Okay, cool.
When I looked you, I was like, that was probably the first video that stood out to me and just was like a dope, like the vibe, the culture, like everything that went with it.
Yeah.
How did that one come together?
Well, I actually threw a community event, a back to school bash, and I went around in the community. I asked different vendors, business owners, you know, people I knew from the print shop, just different people that I sold CDs at their spot and they ain't never trespassed me. So everybody that I felt like I had a relationship with, I knew, I asked them, you know, if they would be a part of it, and typed up a proposal, because I took it around, and you know, I told them in exchange for whatever donation they want to give, whatever it is, $10, $20, $5, whatever, I'll put their logo, you know, on the banners and have it out there. I threw a back to school event at a park, and I had the bounce houses for the kids. Like, that was all for the kids. Gave away like 200 book bags, free food the whole day. Like, it was lit, and I ain't got no big label behind me. So if you ask me, that was like, I made it when that happened. Like, that was my highlight of last year. And so, you know, it was check-in, community event, and of course, you know, I'm an artist, so I capitalized and shot a whole video, like check in. Every year I'm gonna continue to, you know, do stuff like that.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
It's unique too because you feel like, you know, I've done hood vlogs, hood interviews where I'm from, and like you see bro doing it, people doing it all over Cali, everywhere,
right,
Chicago, wherever.
Right.
But with you, like you said, it was a community event as well. Like,
it was.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, you shine a light on what's going on in Tampa, but at the same time, you also helping out the community. So
exactly.
Kudos on that one.
Thank you so much.
No
Appreciate that.
You go. But yeah, how do you feel about like the Tampa music scene compared to when you first started?
When I first started making music, you know, like it was a lot of juke sound still. You know, everybody was on the 10 the juke sound, you know, all that stuff. And I feel like when I first came out, I was never no dancing rapper. Like, I'm a conscious rapper. I like to talk about real spill, reality, bars, like what's really going on out here. But definitely it was a lot of that. And, you know, then it started to change a little bit, like gangsta, drill music once, like, the pandemic hit. And, you know, people were in the house being more creative. It changed a little bit. Now, I feel like it's still kind of like juke sound, dance music. You know, it's like a blend. But also, I think a lot of artists are getting exposure. Like the artists like myself, that's conscious, that, you know, ain't talking about bullcrap. They getting exposure too. You know, yeah. So I feel like our DJs are still slow to break like real music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that they be wanting that Tampa sound, and so I just try not to get stuck in the box. But still, this my culture, you know. So I'ma ride it out. I'ma have fun. I'ma juke. I'ma dance. I'ma make them vibes. But that's not all the way who I am. Like, you know, I like to talk about what's really going on, and it's really about blending the two. You gotta be a product of your environment. And I think like that's what I am. I'm just a product of my environment, you know. Born and raised in Tampa, but I'm aiming for the world.
That's real.
Definitely. Definitely.
What is Tampa? What is the Tampa sound? Because I feel
the Tampa sound is like cranking music. Music that make you wanna go. Like, it's just that real juke music, you know what I'm saying? Well, you be seeing people doing all this shit in their body and they be flipping and all that. You know, if you ever heard of the artist Kaya, and she got the song K Wayne with it. Can't wait a minute. I so clean. Still. So it's a vibe. Like, if you put it on and you up juking and you doing some shit you don't even know what you're doing, 9 times out of 10 you listening to some juke music, some 813 Tampa shit.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do you feel like, because when you're looking at Florida, I feel like everyone thinks of Miami, right?
Everyone thinks of Miami.
Yeah. Do people out here ever feel like, you know, like they got an extra, or like they slept on in Tampa?
Oh yeah, I got a song called "Slept On." Ruth slept on there 2 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like also it's starting to change. Like, you know, even with me running the platform and networking with other promoters, like I'm seeing the motion. Like, Florida is starting to pick up. You know, my Tampa is starting to get just as big as Miami because we got the Bucks, Raymond James Stadium. We got, you know what I'm saying? We got the best like football player. Like, it's just a lot of stuff that with the accolades we've gained that's making us more like a metropolitan city, like Miami. But they still gonna forever be, you know, Miami. But I think it's starting to merge. I definitely mess with a couple artists in the O. Like, I got a good relationship and with artists, promoters, DJs, all that. You know, so I feel like, for me, I've planted seeds in Tampa, Orlando, Miami, St. Pete, Jacksonville, Ocala, Euconnect, Bradenton. Like, I can go down the list, and I guess it's just about planting those seeds and then watching it all come together. You know what I'm saying? That's really what's been going on, just watching it come together.
There's a bunch of like big cities out here. Like, obviously we in Tampa, St. Petersburg's right around the corner. You got Orlando, Miami. So, I mean, when I remember like 2016 era, I mean, like there was hella artists blowing up out of Miami, like Kodak, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like XXX and Smoke Purp and all them. That's kind of a different sound, but no, there's a lot of shit going on out here. Who else do you feel like deserves a spotlight in Tampa?
Man, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, it's a lot of artists that's working hard in the city. Like, and I see it personally and up close. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really get to see it. Like, what's going on. Shout out to Young Dread. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. I look up to him for inspiration. He been doing it. Yeah. You know, I think he signed to Warner Brothers, but like he an artist in the city that got his own label. You know what I'm saying? He do it all. He travel. Like, I feel like that's what real motion is supposed to look like. It's a lot of women that's been doing it, like Priceless Scott. Shout out to, oh man, like they gonna kill me because I know so many artists, so it's kind of an uncomfortable situation because it's like I deal with 30 new artists every week. I can't have a top 5 or top 10, but if it's a lot of artists out here that's doing their thing and have emotion, you know, young and old. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody, my brother KB. Oh my God, like I gotta put you on the KB. His music is crazy. It don't sound like Tampa music. It sound like some Chicago, like Michigan type vibes. Like it's different. I'm gonna play some stuff for you before we go. Like shout out my brother KB, dog. Like that. If I had to put my money on somebody, it'd be him. His flow, swag, visuals, everything is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Hell yeah. Definitely. I know in Denver. We right in the middle of like the West Coast and the Midwest, so we be listening to like all the Detroit, Chicago, and the Cali shit. So.
I think you might love KB music. With that being said, shout out to everybody in Colorado too, supporting your girl all the way from Tampa, Florida. You know the vibes.
Oh yeah, y'all gonna have to tap in and follow her.
They gotta check in with the queen of the city for a reason. They call me that for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
How is it being a female in the rap industry? Or I guess hip hop industry as a whole, because I wouldn't just consider you a rapper.
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard, but it's like, it is what it is. Like, you know, like you gotta just be strong. You know, you can't be weak-minded. Right. And you gotta know that, okay, like at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, we sex symbols, but it's all about how you go about that. So how far you want to take that, you know what I'm saying? So every female got an option. And they got to just know which path they want to walk down. You can have a person that's your man putting money behind you. Or you could go sign with a label and give up all your rights. You could be independent. You know what I'm saying? You could be in a group. We see it. It's so many ways that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have a momager. You can have a dadager. Somebody in your family that's doing it. Put money behind you. However it go. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to need a team and some support for sure. Yeah.
You had a song with Mike Smith. I heard he's a pretty big staple in Florida.
Yeah, Mike Smith, man. Shout out to that boy. Chase this money. He signed the Slip and Slide label. That was love, man. That just came from what I call divine timing. Like, I was on live one day, my mom cooking and cleaning. She didn't even have her wig on. And she ran in the room and I was like, Mom, Mike Smith going live right now. I was like, I'm finna jump on his live. And cause while she was cooking and cleaning, she was playing his song on YouTube. And then he went live and I was like, I was sitting there like, nah, it ain't no chance. And I was like, man, shit, what's the chance he see my comment and add me in? So I was like, man, add me in. Me and my mama, we playing your music right now. Add us in. He added us in. My mama was like, oh shit. You know how the circle be low. And she hurried up and threw her wig on and we hopped on there and for real, we was just talking. He loved the energy. We was just rapping his song and I was like, man, listen, like, I love your music. I'm an artist from Temple, you know, like, let's get it in. He was like, man, send me something. Let me see what the boss is. Son of something. He hopped on it and killed it. Didn't ask me for no money, no nothing. He just hopped on it and murdered it. Shout out to Mike Smith. And then that's when, you know, after he hopped on the song, I was like, oh my God, like, I gotta get this video shot. So we politic, handled the business, paperwork. I slid to Miami, which is my second home, by the way, and we knocked it out. Poker beans, everywhere. We went everywhere, knocked it out, yeah.
What are like some of the pros and cons that come with being an artist?
Pros and cons that come with being an artist. The sacrifice, and the sacrifice. Because you got to sacrifice like time, energy, it's financial, like, you know, it could be a facade. Like, people might feel like one day you're rich, but really they don't know you still got life bills, people you taking care of, family, like businesses, that come with fees, bills. Like it's a lot. It's definitely like it affects relationships. Like it's hard to be in a open relationship, public relationship, or even find somebody that's genuinely for you, because you don't know what their real intentions might be, or even if they love you and for you, it seems like the lifestyle, it gets in the way sometimes, or it just don't work. And you know, the temptation, even as a rapper, like it's a lot of temptation. Like it's quick, you could quickly make the wrong decision, and you know, choose the wrong people to be around. Like, you know, it's just a lot. You know, you got to really know how to move. It's almost like being in prison, because when you go to prison, it's a code that you live by. It's a code that you know, you have to follow instructions. It's a food chain. It's people that you can't just talk straight to certain people. You got to go through certain. So I look at the rap game as the same thing. It's just like prison. It's protocol. It's food chains, rules. It's a lot. It's sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna come out strong and on top as long as you follow and abide by all that. And being an artist, like that's just one of the pros and the cons. Like either I'm gonna have everything I want now and not be where I want to be, or I'm gonna sacrifice all that and be where I want to be. Then I have the relationship I want. Then I'll be able to spend with no limit, and you know, spread my time where I want and things like that. So yeah, definitely.
That's real.
Heck yeah.
How do you do people ever feel like the sound out here, like artists be, I guess I'm just asking this because in Denver, people be always saying like, oh, we sound like another city or state, because we haven't really gotten to that mainstream level yet. Do y'all deal with a lot of that here? Where it's
I think, well, recently, like remember you asked me about how it used to be growing up. Okay, growing up, we ain't used to get acknowledgement as much, like a city or a culture. Other cities will probably come see what we got going on, bite it, take it, stuff like that. Now, we actually get the acknowledgement for our Florida sound, like artists that's breaking the mainstream waves, like Doechii, Lil Tyler, Wiz. It's a lot of artists that's really going mainstream and putting on right here from the city. So with that being for Florida in the whole, you know, I think we do have our own sound now. You know, it's STEM. So it's just about whoever continue to blow mainstream and lock that sound in, then they'll come look at us and say, okay, we see y'all, you know what I'm saying? It ain't just Miami, it's Tampa, you know, definitely. And I feel good to sound from Tampa. It used to be like a, man, dang, do my city support me? Then I seen the support, and then it used to be like, well, dang, like, I done been on conversations and phone calls where it's label reps and A&Rs and people giving me insight I shouldn't have, you know, but they telling me like how the industry looks at Florida. The industry look at Florida like a joke. Because we've had certain artists that's blowed up, made it big, and didn't do what they were supposed to do, you know, or they didn't take it all the way through the door. Like I said, how that temptation comes, they got discouraged, distracted, whatever happened. So I feel like soon as somebody go mainstream and really lock in that sound, we'll be good. And I ain't even got to be the first to do it, but I'm coming. I just want to be one of the staples, if not one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
How do you deal with like, you know, coming from your hometown, that's where you can get the most love, right? But that's also
where you get the most hate.
Yeah.
I'm going through a situation right now. Like, it be situations like people throwing rocks and hiding their hand, like in this lane, because it's like we can really collaborate and glow up together. But yeah, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to be aware I'm far from green. So if I know it's a problem, then it's a problem. That's just what it is, you know. So throwing rocks and hiding here, or the hidden jealousy, like that stuff be crazy. You know, especially as a woman. But it's just part of the game, man. Just know how to deal with it. I try to deal with air. I try to treat, like they say, I treat the janitor like I would treat the boss. Because I don't know what bridge I'm going to have to cross. I don't know who I'm going to have to deal with. So I try to like keep all my relationships solid. No, but I know everybody don't think like that.
That's real.
Hell yeah.
How'd y'all feel? I know Rod Wade's from St. Petersburg, but how did like Tampa and St. Petersburg feel about Rod Wade blowing?
We love us some Rod Wade. I forgot to even really say, like, when it comes to Rod, he's already made Florida mainstream, but he's made St. Pete mainstream too, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? But Rod been doing it. Like, he used to be in the city networking with different artists, you know, so Definitely, man. Like, from the ground up. He did it from the ground up, and look at him.
That's real.
So it could be done. I think it shows, it give a little more faith for up and coming artists, you know, artists like me that's maintaining, that's still riding it out. It's like, it can happen at any given moment. It happens as soon as you stop waiting for it to happen.
Right. So St. Petersburg is like, definitely, do they like have their own culture too, to a certain extent? Because I know like they got the Tampa
still
Bay
fall
Rays.
in the Florida way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they got like the Tampa Bay Rays over there, so I don't think, in my head, coming from the outside in perspective, I'm like, okay, they pretty.
It's a connection. It's a connection far as the motion, the trapping, But if you want to be honest, we got more of our own staple sound than they do. Like, we got to actually just sound. Like, ain't nobody finna be like, just sound came from St. Pete. That come from Temple. But I can't really say what sound come from St. Pete, because even Rod Wave, he don't sound like nobody. He sound like himself. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I feel like they still fall under the Florida category of what sound we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. A lot of people from Temple live in St. Pete and vice versa. So definitely still some Florida shit.
How did but is St. Pete like a pretty big major city too, or is it like a kind of like a suburb?
St. Pete is, it's a little bit. Don't make me lie, cause my city gonna kill me. It might be about the same size as Temple, neck and neck, or whatever, but we both still under Miami. Yeah. You know, we both still trying to get to that level.
Right. Because it kind of reminds me of like Dallas and Fort Worth, like right next to each other. Yeah. Like kind of like a big kind of whole metro area.
Yeah, like I don't know how big. I really can't say how deep it is. But I done been in St. Pete, Clearwater, all that. So definitely, definitely.
Okay. What were some of the struggles you faced growing up in Tampa, or like maybe misconceptions about you?
In the beginning, like I used to go by Ruth, the female prophet. So I felt like when I first came out, like even the DJs and stuff, like they wouldn't really play my music that much in the clubs and stuff, because it was so deep and conscious. And I get it, you know, I understand that they ain't want they set messed up, but I also know that maybe they should have took it home and looked at it differently. Like, it's real music, you know, but I felt like I got not bashed, but it was just slow roll for me. That's why I felt slept on, had to drop that song. Yeah, because it's like I ain't get clout right, instant gratification or clout right away. And I'm cool that I earned what I have now, which is the queen of the city. But that come from me staying resilient, continuing to drop, and staying myself. You know what I'm saying? Like staying true to my element. But no, I just feel like it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. And all I had to do was sit back, see what they like, clean it up, you know, see what they don't like, clean it up, and put it together, you know. And that's what I did recently with my last hits. It's been like just merging the real stuff, how I feel and what I know people will feel and can relate to, and it being that.
No, that's real. Also, random shit. You be seeing a lot of alligators?
Hell yeah, all the time. I see it more on my timeline than I actually do in the streets, but I done seen them. They out here.
That's crazy.
For real. Me and my cousin was in Miami, and he had them caught not an iguana, but what's the other little dragon?
Lizard?
No, the little dragon.
Komodo.
A Komodo. Yeah. Oh my God. And we brought it back home to Tampa. The shit got loose in my car while we was on the interstate.
That's crazy.
Like, it was just like his tail got split. Like, it was a lot of shit. Welcome to Florida, man. For real, for real. Yeah. People taking home Komodos and shit. For real, for real.
How'd y'all feel about the Bucks when they won the Super Bowl? Was the city pretty lit?
The city was lit. The city was lit, man. And I think that's when I caught more flame too, because it was the pandemic. Everybody was inside. You had to be creative. And I dropped a project, and like that week of the Super Bowl, it was like 30 after parties, a lot of stuff going on. So I took advantage. I capitalized. It was like 2020, and I went around to all the events. I had my posters up, my flyers up. I was putting out. I had stickers everywhere. Like, I had the city wet up. Like, it was like crazy, crazy, crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I was able to capitalize off of that moment, and people knew who I was more too, because they was like, damn, this girl hustling through the pandemic. Like, it was undeniable. You couldn't deny it. So shout out to everybody that was forced to be creative during the pandemic. But yeah, man, when the Bucks won, that brought a lot of attention. even with the music industry that brought executives down here, that brought people, you know, exposure. So I'm grateful about the changes. I ain't grateful about the rent prices, and I don't like the whole, you know, it's crazy right now, you know, because now it's like more gentrification. But with that being said, it is what it is. Change is good, and you have to be able to adapt. So
we do a lot of that.
Shout out to Brady, man, for real.
We do a lot of that in Denver too. Like,
but AB had to get his ass out of there. AB had to AB was tripping. AB, you said the queen, man. You was tripping. You had to go. Definitely.
Okay. One last question, then I'll have you shout out your Instagram and all that. You brought up selling CDs earlier. Were you selling your own CDs or?
Yeah, I was selling CDs. You know, my first team that I was working with, he was like, in order to get a name out there, you know, you gotta have online cool. You know, I was still learning the algorithm, but people know me from being a hard worker, consistent worker in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I would go out there every day after work, and sometimes, like, even when I'm off all day, like riding the clock, breakfast, lunch, dinner, might stop, take a couple smoke breaks, get right back out there on the block, like. Be here a couple minutes, go to another area. Like, I already knew where to go, what areas was popping during what time. I'm talking about, it got to the point where I had cities broken down, traffic times, everything. It was crazy. And but I loved every moment of it because it built my character. I definitely, it was a lot of pride, you know, to stand out there and ask a person, hey, can you listen to this? Can you donate to this? And I never put a dollar price on my CDs. Like, I never was out there and say, hey, I got these CDs, they $10, can you check them out? No. For all 3 years, it was always, hey, can you check out my music? And whatever donation you would like to give, like whatever seed you would like to sow, it's a blessing. So it was changing the cup, $5, $10. I've even gotten $100 one or two times. So that showed me, like, you ask not, you have not. So some days I was out there just to feed myself. Some days it was like, man, I'm gonna go sell at least 30 CDs today, and I can give some gas, I can give me something to smoke, I can give me something to eat, and maybe have enough for studio. And some days it was just, okay, I'm flipping my money, got something coming up, let's invest, So yeah, I appreciate everything that's happened on this journey. Like, it feel like it's been a lot of ups and downs, taking a minute, but I know it's all part of the process, man. Divine timing, that's what I like to call it.
You get noticed a lot, and how do you deal with that? Like, people recognize you out here?
Yeah, definitely. It's all about how you deal with things, you know. I know my city love drama. Tampa is a drama city. You know, we was exposed years ago when one of the ladies that was doing drops, which is like fraud, bank account fraud, and they was getting the millions. And she got a boo, her name Rashida, and so she's from Tampa. So we know from scamming, trapping. I know, like, even with our lingo, it's like scamming, trap music vibes, you know, like lit. Temple is like lit vibes. They like lit shit, but yeah, that's what it is. Sure.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for coming on the platform.
I appreciate you, man.
And letting the people know about your story.
Yeah.
Where can they find you on, like, Instagram?
It's your girl K Ruth, the truth, man. I'm on my way to the industry. Lotto, Corey, you know what I'm talking about, Lola. We finna be hanging out. We gonna be vibing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can follow me on all platforms. K Ruth Official. And check out my motivation videos. I drop jewels every Monday from life experiences, things that I go through. That's K Ruth Daily Bread. And if you're an artist in the Tampa Bay or the Florida area looking to perform at a dope platform, check out Lyrical Cafe. Man, it's a lot going on. Most of all, just check in with the queen.
Much love. Can I get a shout out for Mile High Minute one time?
Big shout out to Mile High Minute, man. Shout out to my brother Kodak Blow Up. Y'all know the vibes.
Yeah, appreciate it. Make sure y'all go follow K Ruth on everything, Instagram, YouTube, all that, man. Links be in the description. Make sure y'all follow Mile High Minute on everything. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Hit that like button. Comment down below your favorite K Ruth song.
Hey.
Let us know how y'all feeling.
Let us know what y'all thinking. Yeah. Let's get it.
Mile High Minute, #1 blog in the universe. We appreciate you.